Terry.
And I'm Misty.
And we are Empowered Women Rock. All right, we are back for episode 2. Yes, we didn't just come back in the same. It's not like we showed up to film another day and had the same stuff.
It's those clothes that were on our chair and on the couch.
Same day. But this is episode 2. Oh my gosh, and we didn't even think about a fact, so let's just...
I was going to say I had another one, but I'll bank it for next time.
Okay. All right, because I can't think of anything.
So that works for me.
So we are going to keep on chugging along with our topic. Again, this is the second installment of things that women don't want to admit. So, Misty, what is number 1 on things we don't want to admit?
Okay, is that number 1 or number 6?
Number 6. Number 6. We don't want to confuse
Okay,
anybody.
I like the way she's making me do this one. I like the way she's making me do this one. She just totally jumped. Okay. So number 6 is we don't want to admit that we want to be praised. We don't want to admit, whether it's our husband, our children, our friends, that we want someone to say, oh my gosh, I love the way you've decorated your house. I know you've had a rough week, but you're doing really great. I mean, I just think, our husbands, come home and, how delicious is dinner, even though it's kind of thrown together, I just don't think that we want, I'm bad about that. I don't want to have to tell my husband, I really need you to praise me. I really need you to tell me all these, and he does. I mean, he's really, my children not so much. But my husband, yes. But my husband, yes.
I understand. And with me, and David's actually, he's like my biggest cheerleader. And he would never have to say great meal because I don't cook. So he's the one I need to be.
Do y'all eat out every day?
No, he cooks.
Oh, he cooks.
David, I mean,
okay, you really need to clean your house so I can come eat David's food.
I can cook. He cooks.
I'm going to come sneak in your house.
But Misty is absolutely true. And one of the things that, even me at 45, I still like to get praised from my, to have, I guess, the acceptance or praise or whatever for my dad. That, hey, Terry, that was a good job, or, you did that well.
You still want the praise of your parents no matter how old you get, which is weird.
It is. And sometimes I wish I could just kind of cut that and where it doesn't matter at all. But, unfortunately, sometimes it does matter a little bit.
Yeah.
But so for hubbies, for kiddos, for colleagues, employees, make sure you're praising the women in your life and letting them know, friends, letting them know that they are awesome.
If you're a boss, make sure that you're not constantly pointing out the
negative.
Thank you. The negative. Terry and I have been hanging out so long we complete each other's sentences. But know that you're telling someone, great job. I know you had a lot of work to do this week, and I really appreciate that you got this or this or this done. I think that's a really good thing that we need to be, kind of focused on, is making sure that we're praising the women in the workplace.
Absolutely. Number 7. One of the things women hate to admit is that we try to find happiness in other places when we aren't kind of happy within ourselves.
Food.
And that, I am so
because I'm sorry, but the Ben and Jerry's fish food will make me very happy.
I am like the typical stress eater, or if I'm feeling down, getting something sweet. So that I'm on keto. This is day 3 of me doing keto, and it's about to lay me out. But yeah, that is a big one. That's
why you're so tired. Okay.
And that's why I'm grumpy too. But
she's not grumpy.
Some people, some women also, they use, if it's shopping, things like that, they do something else to try to find that happiness that they don't have because they don't want to admit that.
Yeah, shopping's a big one. A lot of women are, charging up credit cards because they're so unhappy that they find their happiness in things. And we shouldn't find, when we do that, when we start putting a value on things, that's when life starts to get distorted.
Right. Absolutely. And maybe even things like, trying to live through your children. because you're not happy
that is a
with
good
where
one.
you are in life. So you try to live through and really try to force your kids as well to be a certain way to make you happy.
Right. Yep.
So number 8.
Oh, you can make me say that one? She's making me say all the
They
hard
hit
ones.
me. They're hitting me.
This is so not fair.
They're like hitting me.
We don't want to admit that we are afraid of failure. I think that's everyone. Because I was afraid of being a bad mom, failing as a mom, was afraid of failing as a wife, afraid of failing at business. And you hear quotes all the time about, every successful person has failed, thousands of times, hundreds of times before they ever really succeeded. So that's the case, but it's still hard to process.
Right. Exactly. Logically, you know that. And that man, I'm checking the list. Is there anything I hadn't checked for me?
I'm 8 for 8 right now.
That's a big one for me. And one of the things we don't realize that I'm trying to check myself in how we raise Ayana, because my parents had very high standards for me, and it was really ingrained. Failure's not an option. Failure's not an option, and I kind of grew up with that. Now, kind of in the business world, 40 years later, I understand, no, it's okay to quote unquote fail. You need to reframe it. It's just a learning process. But it is still really hard for me to think about not succeeding in something. It's very hard for me to accept that.
Right. So what's crazy about that, I didn't even think about this until now, what you just said about your parents. Okay, so my mom was like that. I don't even know that she realized she was like that. Like if I came home and she knew that I had been studying for this big test, I was like, hey, I got a B- on my test. And she's like, well, if you would have studied, another day, you would have gotten an A.
Yes.
When I made the cheerleading squad, well, is that all that you did?
Yes.
When I made co-captain, why wasn't it captain? When it was captain, it was like, finally. But I don't think that she realized she wasn't doing it because she was, hateful.
No.
She just wanted
you
me
to do the best.
Yes, because so I think it's a generational thing. But what we can do is break that cycle. So
Absolutely.
What I have always told my children, because it happened to me, and I bet you tell it to Ayana too, is while we are afraid of failing, we need to make sure that our children are not seeing that.
Absolutely.
And that we need to let them know it is okay.
Right.
It is okay if you decide to go to college and you hate it and it's not for you, don't go and end up being in debt $80,000 to find out that that's not even what you wanted to do in life.
Absolutely.
I think that we put too much pressure on our children, especially our daughters.
Yes.
To not fail, but failure is a part of life.
Absolutely.
And it is. And it's not anything we can avoid. So we have to, that is something we really need to be mindful of, is making sure that we're not pushing that don't
same
fail
attitude
thing
on them
to our children.
And it really was, I think, generational, because my dad, I will never forget, and Dad, I brought it up to you several times. I'm in second grade, and he comes home from his job at the plant, and it's like 9:00, and I am, I'm taking a bath, and he always went through like my daily paperwork and the daily grades or my test grades, and I had made a B. It was like an 80 something on a daily grade, and he got me out of the tub and whipped me because I got an 80 something. And so it was always just the fear of God. And it was, if I got 100 on in a class on a report card, well, why didn't you do extra credit and get 103? So it
Man,
is
I didn't have it so bad when I hear Terry stories.
But yeah, so make sure you don't project that on, just like Misty said, to your children. Number 9.
Ooh, I'm bad about this one.
Oh, this is me too.
This is probably my number one. This is
women hate to admit. We hate to admit when we're wrong.
Yes.
That hits me. I laugh when I think about David. I'll do something or say something and it's wrong, and David will call me out on it, or where it's wrong. And instead of me saying, okay, yeah, that's wrong, I'm like, well, but 5 years ago you did this and you said that and that was wrong too.
That sounds like my husband, actually. That's what he does.
I just need to admit I was wrong. Why do I need to drag him into being wrong?
Okay, I will just stand by my wrongness. My husband will do what Terry does. He'll throw it back on me, and I'll be like,
I'm right.
That tree is orange. It's orange. You're colorblind. I have my husband totally convinced, and just so you know, I have my husband totally convinced that he's colorblind.
But he's not really. But
no, he really is.
Oh, okay.
But no, the boy can't see colors.
But yes, we need
but I'm really bad about that.
Especially women. We need to be able to admit that we're wrong. Because remember, we are modeling for our children. We are modeling for our daughters. There is nothing wrong with saying, yes, I'm wrong. I was wrong on that. And I need to be able to learn to kind of be that bigger person, because it's hard for me to do that. So, and we come to God, Lord, I wrote a paragraph.
I'm gonna make her read number 10, because I was sitting here going, if she tries to make me read number 10, I'm gonna leave.
Okay, and I see why I wrote this, because this is one that hit. Well, all 10 of them hit me. Then this is one that hit me. Many of you know that. I was married previously, so David is my soulmate. He's my second husband. But one of the things women hate to admit is that we have felt at times that we didn't deserve happiness, that we didn't deserve to be loved, and that we were, we were not worthy of having success and peace in life. And that's absolutely one of the things that happened to me. In my first marriage, I got married basically to buck my parents, because they told me that wasn't the right person for me. And I was like, y'all ran my life for 18, 19, 20 years, and I'm going to do what I want to do. And realized very quickly that wasn't the person for me. And it ended up being something where my self-esteem was just decimated in this relationship. I was mentally abused, physically abused, emotionally abused. But I had grown during that time to feel I didn't deserve love, that I didn't deserve to be happy, that I had kind of made my bed and I deserved to just lay in that. And I think a lot of women, regardless of income, regardless of status, regardless of education, a lot of women at some point in time end up feeling like that they just don't deserve happiness or good things.
Right. No, I totally agree. I think that a lot of times we just kind of stand there and we do. Hello. We just do it.
See, you called attention to it. So
that we just don't feel like we deserve something that's happening. So when something good does happen, and I know a lot of times, especially with women that are single that are dating, they'll start dating someone and this guy treats them really well.
Yes.
And then they're like, okay, something's wrong.
Right.
They're waiting for that other shoe to drop.
Yep.
And many times we're sabotaging our happiness because we're waiting.
Right. For that bad thing to come out.
For the bad thing to happen. And it's just all that negativity. So we're just like, oh, this is bad.
Right.
This is bad. This is, this is going to be bad. He might like me today. And he's not going to like me tomorrow. And I'm going to go ahead and take this job, but I know I'm not ever going to get promoted.
Right.
So a lot of times we sabotage our own happiness. When if we would just go at something and say, you know what? I do deserve this.
Absolutely.
Because no matter what you've done in your life, everyone deserves more than one chance.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I love the way you say that. Yeah.
It's not just everyone deserves a second chance, because we've all messed up. We've all messed up dozens of times, hundreds of times.
Yes.
Right. And if that wasn't, if the highest power in the universe is willing to just say, okay,
I forgive you.
Yeah, it's all good. When you say, I'm sorry, I did this, and you acknowledge it, then why not it's the forgiveness in ourselves that we have such a hard time, you know. But then when somebody else doesn't forgive us, we get all mad.
Very true. Very.
And when
very
somebody
true.
else doesn't feel like, if somebody else doesn't feel like we deserve happiness, it's
Right.
different. But inside, I think that all of us are like that.
Absolutely. So, women, make sure you understand you deserve good things. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be treated well. You deserve, every good thing in life that is out there for you. So don't feel, again, I was one who's been there, don't feel that you don't deserve those good things. Because like Misty said, you will end up just walking through life sabotaging every good thing that comes your way.
Yes.
And you will ruin it, and you will not have a happy life. So we just, again, wanted to pull back the cover on just real talk on some of the things that women don't want to admit, don't like to admit. Let you see, we are like everybody else that's out there. We have all had, issues with these things as well. A lot of them still working through ourselves. So just know that's what Empowered Women Rock is about. We are here to help uplift you, sometimes pull the cover back on some things and say, hey, we know that's you because we know it's us too.
Right.
So we're all working together to get to a better place.
Yes. And if you have one takeaway, because my takeaway from these 10 things is that, and we'll put these in the feed, and we'll link it to our website. But I think the one thing that I get out of these 10 things is it's okay to not be okay. So it's okay. It's okay
Right.
to feel stressed. It's okay to feel like you're not doing something as well as you could be. It's
Right.
okay to feel these certain ways. What's not okay is to pull yourself out of it. That's what's not okay.
Right.
So it's okay to not be okay, but you need to find out a way to be okay.
Absolutely.
Because for every, problem, there should be a solution.
There you go. There you go. And if there's anything out there that we can help you with, please don't hesitate to send us a message. Let us help get resources to you, get whatever it is
Yes.
you need. We can get our hands on typically and help you get to a better place. So thank you for tuning in. Again, I am Terry.
And I'm Misty.
And we are Empowered Women Rock.